Sula mzalo ngaka, sula zonyembezi kusazodlunga qabela. Sun is gonna shine.
This is the host, Tay Wiggs.
And your co-host Marc Sr.
Hey, we got two
What's good?
guests in the building. Introduce yourselves.
Camp Cleveland. Tage
Sleep.
Upuru.
Yo, sipping Noghost.
Hey man, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is huge. We always do sports and stuff like that.
Yeah.
To go in this route, to have somebody I went to middle school with and high school with, and also you being from another person being from Africa. You know what I'm saying? I never been in Africa. You from Africa, and Mark has been I don't know how many times to Africa. So
Every year.
so start. Are you first and foremost? How did y'all two guys meet up?
On how we made up. I think he will recall. We first got connected by Mafera because there was this guy Mafera. He was doing the international collabs, so he found me. We were in the studio. Then he was doing a collab. He had Marcus, and then he had Black Peter. I don't know if he still remembers it. I think that was back in 2011 or 2012 between there. Then that's how we got connected with me and him.
Okay.
Yeah, so pretty much we had a mutual friend. So we connected initially through like I think it might have been MySpace or Reverb Nation. Like you said, it was 2011. So I've been doing the international collaborations for about a decade now. So it's a cat named Affair. He was like a producer. I think he like an actor now. He do like low budget movies and stuff.
Yeah.
He kept in touch.
Yeah, he's doing acting now.
So when y'all connected, was it like just chemistry right off the bat, or y'all had to get a few projects in before before things worked out how y'all wanted, or it was just on set y'all was good?
Yeah, at first it started as music. You know what I'm saying? Because through Mafera, and then we invited each other on Facebook, and then we did songs. Then we started chatting now and then, and then he told me that he's flying to South Africa. I think when I don't know. I think it was Marcus. When was it? The first time when we met was 2020.
Like we connected with 2016.
2016, yes, because I just moved from Ishawa to Stenga. And then that's when we met. It was in December, Christmas. Yeah, 2016, December, Christmas, yeah.
5 years. 5 years.
Right, 5 years strong. Like I know both you guys like music. So who influenced you guys, and who are your favorite artists as growing up was you listening to?
I mean, definitely Machiavelli, Tupac. You know what I'm saying? My parents, my dad, they used to play the old schools, the Marvin Gaye, the Donny Hathaways. I was hip to a lot of that stuff early on. In hip hop too, I had older brothers, so in the 80s, I was hip to like Slick Rick and Rakim and NWA, because a lot of people wasn't allowed to listen to that. Like I was only like 5 or 6, but I had older brothers, and we had like a big stereo and record players. My brothers, they used to have house parties and stuff. So you know what I'm saying? That golden era of hip hop was definitely influential. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because on my side, I will say locally, because we look up to you all, and then we also have our local artists here in South Africa. So yeah, South Africa, mostly when I grew up, it was more of the Kwaito genre that was dominating. Hip hop, it wasn't that much of it. Right. So I grew up listening to sounds of Brenda Fassie, Mafiki Zolo, Oskido. It wasn't that much of that hip hop. So, and then the guy that actually inspired me here in South Africa, mostly it was Zola. That's when I started, like, because he had that rhyming plus mixed with Kwaito. So he had the hip hop / Kwaito. So he's the guy who I think I remember was in standard 5. Now they call it grade 7. I did my first performance where I was singing his song. So
Okay.
that's those people. Then overseas, obviously, Park was there. But 50 Cent was the person that also inspired me. But the old kids that in that era from 96 where I started to like listening to hip hop from overseas than here in South Africa.
Yeah, South Africa, man, they got some heat, man. You know, we be sleeping on the music in Africa. They got different genres. You know, they got a lot of different styles of music that we ain't even tapped into yet, so we missing out. But they hip to what we do. They got
Right.
MTV, BET, VH1, so they can see
Yeah.
everything we do, but we can't see what they doing. They got a lot of creative, you know what I'm saying, artists out there.
Now, to piggyback what you saying, it's crazy because my wife, she watched a lot of African movies, like it was on Tubi, TV. A lot of their movies is on them type of platforms. Like if you got like a Roku TV, a lot of African movies, she watch a lot of those. So they actually be really good, to be honest with you. They got some good actors over there too as well.
Yeah. They got Nollywood in South Africa.
Right.
They got like top-notch
Nollywood.
movies, like real professional movies.
Right.
Yeah, in South Africa we got like Zanti Magic, where there's a whole lot of things that are happening there. We got like SABC 1, SABC 2, and ETV, where a lot of our local content is getting played over there. But as you're saying, we know a lot of work about y'all, then y'all know a lot of work about us.
Right.
Even in the movies too, we watch a lot of movies from outside, then y'all watch our movies. Because I was even asking one of my friends, I said, are y'all, because we got Trace Africa here, where they play African music. And then we got Trace Urban, and then we got Trace. So I was asking him if, like, even with Channel O, like the Channel O that we're watching here, is it the same Channel O that you're watching that side, or do you have the channel?
Right.
Right. I don't know if we got Channel O. You got Channel O, Tay?
But I know what he was saying. So it's crazy because I can watch certain African channels on my Roku TV. All you gotta do is download some of the stuff. You can watch some of their stuff as well. So I know what's going on, like in certain their movies. Like I sit back. We sit back probably every Sunday when the kids go to bed for getting ready for school. Me and Ariel watch a couple of African movies. They actually they have I'm not gonna lie. Some of the movies sometimes a little bit better than some of the American movies. They have their movies have more of a bit of a plot twist to it. You're like, oh man, he was in this all along. Like you look at some American movies, like they really enter their craft into their art. They really take a heave at what they do. They take it more.
That's true. Like right now, we got like Coming to America.
Right.
We got South African actor there, Nomzamo Mbata. She's from South Africa. So so I think as the time goes on, we're gonna see more of South African people, actors, and African, because we also had Pearl Thusi too. He got some couple of movies there he did it overseas. So I mean, I think they are buying into us in terms of actors and even the musicians, because we got the likes of Nasty C that is signed with Def Jam. I don't know, you'll hear of Nasty C. Marcus, I know you know him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I know he opened up. I want to say he did some of the BET Awards.
Yeah,
He like the first African to sign a Def
Jam.
Yeah. And he's young too. He's very, very young.
Casper.
Yeah, we got Casper, we got AKA, we got Questa, we got Tumi, he's go by Stogie T right now, we got Zakwe. We got a whole lot of kids that are doing it good in our industry.
So how would you describe the the African genre of music? Is it like a reggae? Is it, because I'm hip, Tay hit me up. I tried to do some quick research, try to listen to some songs I could. But how would you describe it? Because the single I listened to from you guys, No Sun, it sounds like it can be played on the radio here. It was like it was no real difference. Quality was good. I enjoyed it. So is it all African music like that, or is it different, I should say?
Okay, I'm gonna start by breaking down as culture. So,
Okay.
like here in South Africa, we got 9 provinces. Each province has their own language, and then they have their own people. Like we got the Zulus, we got the Xhosas, we got the Bedis, we got the whites, we got Afrikaners, we got, there's a whole lot of people that are but then we got Zulus. Actually today, my man, we lost King Zwelithini, one of our kings here in KwaZulu-Natal. Yeah, so we lost him today. So I mean, like, condolences to the family and everybody. So we got like Zulu. In Zulu, we got our traditional music that we call it umbhaqanga.
Okay.
I don't know if you can pronounce that. Yeah,
Tupacana.
we call it
Tupacana.
umbhaqanga. So we got the traditional music of ours, where even the way we dress, it's not the same like how I'm dressing right now.
Right.
You understand? So we dress like our traditional clothes. In our traditional clothes, we do the Zulu dance. We don't do the kwara and stuff like that, but we do the Zulu dance where, yeah. So from there, and then we have even the Sutus too. They have their own music that is from their culture.
Okay.
And then even the Afrikaners too. They have their own music that also goes with their culture. But then we have this hip hop, and then we have kwaito, and then we have a piano, then we have home, which also brings us all together besides of our cultures and stuff. Because you can jump into nowadays, you can mix home and maskandi at the same time. You can mix it with you can mix even maskandi and mix it with hip hop. So, but the music is way different. If you go to another province, you will find their music is different from KwaZulu-Natal music in Durban. But we have our foundation music, and then we have the music that's it's there for everybody in the world.
Yeah,
So,
let me add. Oh yeah, go ahead.
now you can carry on, bro.
Oh, just to break it down, like we from America, so it's different. So say this, we from North America. Say if you go to Mexico, you go to Haiti, you go to Jamaica, you go to Canada, you go to Dominican Republic, Guatemala. Them places are totally different. The language is different, the food is different, the culture is different, the people look different, the music different, everything different. Africa is the most diverse continent in the world. So say like Ethiopia, it's 80 different ethnic groups in that one country. So they dress different, they got different music, they got different foods and different cultures, you know what I'm saying, within that one country. So say like South Africa, they got 11 different official languages, where in America we just speak American. Then we got a lot of Spanish speaking people. So when you say the music, like everybody can do rap, but then you got some cats that might rap in Zulu and add some of their traditional culture. But the bigger artists, like you say, you'll listen to the song, you be like, that sounds like some shit that'll play on the radio here. So you got some cats that kind of do both. Then you got some cats that just kind of cater to the American, because they trying to get on, so it's kind of like that. So it's.
Now I'm gonna go to Marcus G. I know I got two Marcus in here, so Marcus G.
right.
AKA Tay. So I remember when we first met at Roxborough, you was doing the music thing, rapping and stuff like that, Nas and all that stuff. Everybody had their debates on who was the better rapper between Biggie and Tupac and Nas or whoever. But the whole thing is, like, since you've been doing your stuff, doing your music, seeing you in a couple of videos. I've been watching a couple of your videos.
Thank you.
Your videos are different from what everybody else is doing. Your videos is more dedicated to what's going on now and showing dedication to the females and stuff like that. And also, too, I want to get the grab to that with your audience and what you're trying to put out there. You're doing other stuff in the community that's not getting talked about. Now, can you share us what you're doing in the community for the Black people?
Oh yeah. I'm like I look at Black people from a global perspective. So this not everybody don't feel this way, but it's just my opinion and my upbringing and my family. So you got Black people in America, Brazil, Mexico, Asia, India. You got Black people all over the world. So when I say I'm doing something for the Black community, I'm looking at it from a global perspective. So I done volunteered at orphanages, recreation centers. My brother, he got a nonprofit. We gave away like 20 bikes. You know what I'm saying? Kids that couldn't get nothing for Christmas. We done had winter drives where we done gave away coats and hats. We done fed the homeless, cooked for them, back to school giveaways. I'm going to Cape Verde next week. It's a school out there that I work with. We raise up a little money. We buy them school supplies. We help paint, fix up. Last year I was supposed to build them a studio, but COVID happened. So just trying to get back in just little ways and do things like tutoring, mentoring. You know what I'm saying? Anything I can do. And also I co-founded a food co-op, you know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
seen
Trying to
that too.
create
Dope.
a economical institution, you know what I'm saying? I was the president of the co-op for like 2 or 3 years. We just got a grant for like $60,000 because we was giving food and medical supplies to people during the lockdown, So I do a little bit of everything.
The crazy thing, I like about it, some people record and put everything out there. Yours is behind the scenes
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
everybody don't need to know what that person is doing. Only if
Right.
you know what you're doing and you shedding light on other people and the other people around feel good. I'm the same way too as well. So I used to work for this company. At the end of the season, they get rid of
Yeah.
cleats, they cut them up, we throw them away. So told my store manager, I said, hey, at the time, I said, you know what I could do with these? I said, can I just box these up? What you gonna do with them? You gonna sell them? Like, no. So I'm gonna box
Yeah.
them up. I'm gonna take them to the inner city and take them into the neighborhood with the kids who can't afford football and baseball cleats. So I
Yeah.
went there, I dropped the cleats off. The kids wasn't there yet. The coach wasn't there yet. The lady was like, do you need a receipt? Do you need anything? I said, I don't need no receipt. I said, what do I need a receipt for if I'm giving it away? I said, I used to be them same kids that used to be in the inner city trying to play a sport not with the right equipment. Just to
Right.
bless them
Yeah.
Yeah.
kids with that equipment was better. I drove away feeling good. So about 3 days later, that organization called me, which is the Boys and Girls Club on that end, and say, is this Dante? I said, yeah, this is me. He said, hey man, you just blessed the kids. Do you need a gift card, anything? I said, no, man, I don't need nothing. I said, I was giving thanks because my father, when he was living, he always say, son, you gotta look out for people. If you got it, you gotta look out for the next person if they don't got it. So he always had this thing
Yeah.
called doing good deeds, sowing good seeds. So I'm living by
Yeah.
that motto. So at that standpoint, I'm saying to myself, I'm sitting there, man, I got 3 boxes of football cleats and baseball cleats. I said, I don't want to throw these away. Put them in my SUV, took them down there. That coach called me back 3 days later. He asked me, do I want a gift card? I said, no. He sent me a card, a thank you card. I said, man, you can just send me a thank you card. I'm fine with that. He said, all right, cool. You said that here. I still got it right to this day in my room. So he called me another day later. All the kids there. I ain't recognize the number because I'm working. He called me like, Dante, this you? He said, somebody want to say something to you. All the kids in the background. Thank you, Mr. Dante. That was to me. That was more valuable. That thank you was more valuable
Right.
to me than the money. The money don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
The money come and go. But
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
would you leave it for the kids? Right, that's an impact and a legacy. Because if one of them kids decides to make it to pursue a professional level in what they do, one
Yeah.
of them kids gonna say, you know what? I remember
They
this guy
remember
came
that.
to us. They're gonna remember that, and they're gonna look out for the
Yeah.
next
That's,
person.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. That's
Salute to
true.
you, King.
Like,
Salute.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
like on that point too, it's the same thing that happens here with me too. I mean, there's a whole lot of things that I've done for people, but I
Right.
don't put it out there because even in terms of like, because I was also a store manager, so like giving the guys the job opportunities, by hiring someone, giving the person a job, that also makes a difference to that person's life. You
Right.
understand? Or else plugging someone with something, or say, okay, you wanna go to that platform. Okay, this is the knowledge that I have. This is who and who I can talk to. I mean, we can go in there and you can go and do your thing. And let's say like a whole lot of people that, I mean, I got like numbers of people that I know for sure that I had impact in their lives, but I don't have to put it out there or take a picture or take a video or do whatever. I mean, I know if that person says to me, thank you, to me, that means, that means a
Yeah,
lot.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Definitely. So speaking on that, so how do you put you know, things like that into the music?
Yeah.
Because I know you, you know, what I read about you is that you kind of let your heart do the writing for you. Like, so the music kind of flows through you. And that right there is a great point of something coming from the heart. So how does that also, you know, make its way into your music?
First of all, I think I've told Marcus about my story. Because a whole lot of my writings, it's inspired by my life and then whatever I see from other people too. Mm-hmm. So starting with me, I do not have parents. I wasn't raised by them. They died when I was still young. So I was raised by some sort of adoption, but I was working for those people, not that they just adopted me as their child. So I was working for them, and then for me to finish school, then they were paying some few things and they give me a little bit of pocket money there and there. So since from then, I've developed this thing of saying, whatever I went through, I'm gonna write about, then someone will get inspired. Or even if, because I know stories, I know people too who are going through the same thing that I'm going through. Some of them it's worse. It's not the same like I, you know. So with all that I see, I always put it down in my music. So it even comes to when I do a track, I also have to do a research on that person, on what does this person like. The previous songs. Is he is he into trapping, or is he conscious rapping, or is he, I mean, you know, we got these different guys that they doing, it is hip hop, but it's all have like different messages. So my messages is about uplifting the people or giving hope to the people to say, you know what, we can still make it, even though it's hard. But if you know, if you got that drive in you, you will get where you want to be.
So
Yeah, I would say, oh no, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead. This all y'all platform.
Yeah, right.
Go
No,
ahead.
it's all good. I mean, for me, it's both. Sometimes it's more mechanical. You know, you just writing to the topic of the song, or somebody need a verse. But like, for example, my solo music, my singles, like my last video, I did a song called "Do Revolutionaries Go to Heaven?" You know what I'm saying? And that was more of an organic situation. So at the time, I recorded the song and I wrote the song. I was in Johannesburg. I was in South Africa when the world was locked down. So this like March or April, you know, and I was living in a neighborhood called Maboneng, and it's a different type of place.
There?
I was staying in Maboneng. So
oh yeah, I remember because I remember because I was trying to get you down to Durban.
Yeah, right. I was supposed to go down to Durban, but everything was shut down. So this neighborhood is a special kind of place because it's like rappers, singers, producers, poets, dancers, painters, photographers, drummers. They all come to this neighborhood and they perform. You know, they be outside, they be in the alleyways, and some of them live. You know, some of them live in the area and some come from different areas. So the apartment I was staying in, it was like a studio next door, a rapper upstairs, a singer on the next floor. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of people. So outside, it's a lot of artwork. It's paintings everywhere. So it's paintings of like Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Harriet Tubman, Assata Shakur, you know what I'm saying, Tupac, Nipsey Hussle. So every day when I would walk to the store, I would look at these and it was inspiring to me. And then that's when I started, you know, writing the song. And then I was just fortunate enough because it was a lot of photographers that lived in my building. And I ran into a guy and I told him I wanted to do a video. So I recorded the song in my building and then shot the video, you know, outside of my building. So it's called "The Revolutionaries Go to Heaven." You know, I'm a historian, and that's something that, you know what I'm saying, that I'm into.
Yeah,
that's cool. The one thing I do respect about both of y'all, like I've never been to Africa. You from Africa, and you from America. But I remember you were saying, I remember you saying something like that in high school, like yo, one day I'm just gonna get up and just go to Africa one day. You know, some people sit back and doubt people's dreams, like Africa. I'm saying to myself, like, damn, I wish I want to go to Africa. Because the crazy thing is, my church used to go to Africa every year.
Okay.
At one point in time, well, I never went. Just imagine at that time, I think that trip was like $1,800 like per person. That's a lot of money to pay for 5 people at the time. You got siblings and your parents.
Mhm.
You know, like, dang, man, I want to go to Africa so bad. Just to say I've been. Just to say I've been to the motherland. Right? Because I don't believe everything that they put on TV. Like,
Yeah, you want to
I
see for
definitely,
yourself.
I gotta see for myself.
Right.
Like when Mark, like when you go, like when Marcus go, I go to his page. Like he went to Africa. I'm just going looking. But this is not what they showing on TV. They show this. They show that corny, stupid side that I know is not true. I'm like, yo, Africa has a way better part what they showing in that. Like, I'm referring to back to Sam Corvus, out to SJ. Like every time he go to Africa, at the time I'm married, and like at the time I was talking to his little cousin. She would always show pictures at the time was they got McDonald's, KFC, they got the same stuff that we have here. It might be different menus, but they got some of the same things. So I'm looking at TV, I'm like, man, I never believe what Jay-Z always said it best, never believe everything that your earlobe captured, because you gotta go see everything, hear things for your own good. So I'm looking at Marcus. When Marcus going, he got us motivated. Like, yo, I want to go to Africa. I gotta go. And the crazy thing was when referring to Nas on Belly, what did he do? Boy, he went to Africa. So every time I see when I watch Belly, I'm like, yo, Marcus over here going to Africa like Nas coming back, telling people what they should be doing because he's seeing different parts of the world and trying to shed that light on the people, on our African people that's in America who's not really getting the picture. So
I said to him when we were in lockdown, when he was in Joburg, I asked him after, I think it was after 3 months, I said, asked him, are you still around? He said, yeah. I said, hey, my bro, you need to get an apartment, you need to get a house, you need to buy a house here in South Africa, because it looked like you are one of us right now, because each and every year you come back, you hear, I mean, like you've actually developed brothers from another country.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, Africa got some world-class cities. I mean, if you go to Johannesburg, they got Benzes, Bentleys, BMWs, they got Range Rovers. You know, they got iPhones. They got more. Like in comparison to Cleveland, they cars, they malls is 10 times better, man. Beautiful women. I'm talking about some of the most beautiful women you ever seen in your life, and that's all around Africa. You know, not just South Africa, but South Africa is probably the most developed and the most technologically advanced part of Africa. So it is some real nice parts, and you know.
Now, piggybacking what you were saying, now the crazy thing is you can go on YouTube, you can Google African houses in South Africa and stuff. I'm looking like, yo, every house look way better mansions. Way better mansions. The weather look good. I guess I like everywhere I go, I try different food. I don't even worry about the food. I know it's gonna be good regardless. Somebody black making it with soul. So I'm looking at all the cars. Like, yo, man, these dudes got Range Rovers. Like you said, they got Mercedes Benz. They driving G wagons over there too. They houses, they mansions is way better than America's mansions.
We even got a Bugatti too. Just imagine, we got some dudes there, they're owning a Bugatti. Something that we saw over there from y'all. I was surprised when I see the dudes, they pulling up with the Bugattis, the Ferraris, all that they we still have.
That's what's up.
So right now, like I said, I'm grateful to have both of you guys on our platform. Let me know what time it is where you at, Sibo.
Right now, let me see. It's 1:30. So right now it's Saturday for me.
Saturday.
For me right now, it's Saturday for me right now. So I mean, we move differently. We move differently for real.
Now, I'm going back to Tay.
Yeah.
So, any other big projects you guys gonna collab on in the near future, anything like that nature?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, working with CB, that's like family. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna always make music together. You know what I'm saying? But right now, on the music side, I don't have an album or no mixtape or nothing coming out. I got a YouTube page with my videos and my music on there, and I got a lot of content on there, African, places that I've been to, but positive, content. So I got videos of me going into the pyramids, the temples, the tombs, the Valley of the Kings, the Door of No Return. A lot of places like that, Robin Island, so people can see these places because they may not, like you say, have the money or the opportunity to go see these places for themselves. And it's a lot of positive content. I do
Yeah.
educational tours. I take groups to Africa. I got a tour coming up like next week. We go to 7 different countries. We got a tour to Ghana, Senegal, Cape Verde, South
Yeah.
Africa, Kenya, Egypt, Ethiopia. So it's all around the continent. I got a website, man. I'll be bringing products and stuff back and forth from Africa. So I sell like shea butter, black seed oil, dashikis, drums, African masks, pottery, necklaces, jewelry. So it's just, it's all kind of
Yeah.
intertwined, but you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
So what's
I mean,
your YouTube page and your website? You can drop that so for the people
oh,
to
okay.
get to you.
Yeah. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Camp Cleveland. My website is campcleveland.org. And I just released a book. So this is something I'm working on now. I've been doing a lot of podcasts and radio shows promoting my book. Like I said, I'm a historian, I'm an author. So maybe in the
What's up,
next
man?
2 or 3 years I may develop a documentary because I sat down with a lot of elders and I did a lot of interviews and I have a lot of archive footage. So the book that I wrote about, it was about Cleveland. It was about my uncle. He started this group called the Afro Set in the 1960s. So there was like a Black Power group and they
Okay.
practiced self-defense and they opened up these shops in Huff and Glenville and then they spread it out to like West Virginia, Columbus and different places. And they would do something similar to what I'm doing. They would make dashikis and pottery and earrings and necklaces and
yeah.
dresses, and they would sell them, to create income. They was trying to be independent. And then they had classes. They would educate people about, African history, African culture, African
Yeah.
language. They taught people Swahili. They taught self-defense. They used rifles, machetes, sticks. It's a very exciting book. And shootouts, rebellions, and uprising. And these are things that happened in the city of Cleveland.
Yeah.
Cool.
One thing I'm gonna say about Mark is like when I first met you in the 8th grade, when I first came in from the inner city. Like I said, I went to a school that was predominantly black. The only person that was white was the teacher.
Right.
Coming to a school like Roswell was a melting pot, all walks of life. I think you probably stuck out to me the most because you was different. Blue jeans, Timberland boots, headphones, pistol in the air, book bag, gone. So I'm like,
Right.
yo, that's Marcus right there. Like, yo, dude, that dude know everything about music. I'm like, all right, cool. So
Right.
I'm getting my feel for people in school.
Right.
So I know, all
Yeah.
right, cool. But when you have conversations with him, it was always positive. I never heard Marcus talk about nobody, anything. He was always quiet, kept to himself. It wasn't about school music. He didn't have nothing to do with you, to be honest with you. He always been on his P's and Q's. That's why I'm sitting here smiling,
Yeah.
like to watch a journey from us to go from boys to men and be on the right track and level and trying to help out others to
Yeah.
get them where they're supposed to go. Like I said, I came from
Yeah.
inner city. I didn't know nothing about schooling that much. In the inner city at that time in the 90s, they just passed you to the to the right grade. They didn't care about what you're doing. You come to this school here in Cleveland Heights, you get educated. They doing this, and the third. I'm like, yo, they really preparing you for college or whatever. This is middle school. They prepare you to be better. So that's why I'm smiling because I always knew you guys had. I knew you guys had that it factor. Like seriously, that's for you too, Mark.
Likewise, King. Salute, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
CB, do you got anything?
yeah. On my
Yeah, go ahead.
on my side, I mean, first of all, I would like to say we submitted our song, I think in last week, and then it was accepted in some of the radio station, and today I got the news that it went straight to #1.
oh, that's what's up, man.
I'm telling you, #1. One of the radio station in Johannesburg, it went #1 on their top 20. So imagine that. To me, I mean, I didn't even get that #1 spot in some Durban's radio station, but I'm already there in Joburg. They actually loving the song, and then I mean, like they loving it. And two, I mean, I'm getting questions like, how did you do the song? Did the guys fly in or whatever it happened? I told them, you know what, the technology right now is so helpful. It's just you need to approach people. The way of approaching people is more important. They say, you know what, let's do this and this and that. So currently we are pushing the Sun song. It was produced by Visto, a good friend of mine, my bro. We've been, since 2010, we've been working together. Even if we get apart, I go to the other city, he stays in town, but still he's my good producer. And then today also, I also dropped the mixtape. It's a joint mixtape with Eli Nala. Also one of the guys, he's a best lyricist. You know, that mixtape, when we started it, a lot of people didn't believe it because I'm more of the guy who does commercial music now than the underground. So he's more into underground rapping, poetic, offbeat person. You know, he's not about he's not about the flows, he's not about the singing. But then like when we started doing whatever, we did one song, it was like a freestyle. And then like from then we said, you know what, let's do another freestyle. And then he started say, I'm gonna try a little bit of singing here and there. I'm gonna try do the flows like how you do. Only to find out the guy heard those things long ago. He wasn't given freedom to express himself and say, you know what, I can do whatever. So now in my studio, when you come in, I say, you do whatever you want to do.
Do you,
it's
right?
Cool. As long as it's gonna go out there and people gonna enjoy it. So I've got that came out today. And then I also have other mixtape of my mixtape only. And then I got another 2 songs with the guy in Boo. I know Marcus records him. Then I'm also working on my album. I'm working on my album. So it's just this one mixtape that I need to drop, and then 2 of these songs with Boo, and then just complete my album. So that's what I'm currently busy with. Because last year I dived into acting. But then COVID happened, and then all the plans just dies out because now they closed down the cities, so you couldn't go from Durban to Johannesburg. So it's, you know, the rules were more tougher. So then the acting part dies down. Then I said, okay, fine. Let me just carry on with music, and then plus 2, I got a clothing label, Noghost Clothings. I was speaking to Marcus about having my clothing printed that side, because I was even comparing the prices on how much is to print a t-shirt that side. You know, just to give him the authority to say, okay, my bro, there's the logo. You can print for people that side if they want to buy it, because I know even if you can buy it from me, it will take time for you to receive it that side. But if we got places which they're able to print t-shirts, hoodies, caps, if someone wants that brand, you can print it that side and send it to them, and then we just split the money, whatever percentage we agreed on. So that's what's on the pipeline for me in terms of the clothing.
All right, this is crazy. So this let me tell you about how this interview happened. Yeah. So Marcus, he know my wife. They went to school, Ariana. She's like, yo, Marcus looking for somebody to do an interview on the podcast going around. I'm barely on Facebook like that.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting down, I'm watching The Wire. She's like, yeah, hey, you think you should do that podcast with Marcus? I said, hold on, let me go check. I look at this thing and said, nobody responded. He came right. Sibo came and was like, yo, think you could do an interview? I said, yeah, man, no doubt. The crazy thing is that we've been talking every day leading up to this interview. He's like, what you want to do? I said, man, make the fire how you want to, man. How you want to desire, I'm all for it. So he told me, how we should do this? I said, man, it's whatever. I said, I got you. You said, give me a time. So he had the time up there. And you're going to laugh because I'm trying to figure out. He's like, yeah, we can do an interview at 23:48. So I'm looking like 23:48. I said, oh, yeah.
This minus 12, right? This minus 12.
I'm like 23:48. I'm like, oh man. I said, she's like, you know, that's like probably like 1 o'clock their time in Africa. I said, oh yeah. I think they 6 hours ahead of us. I said, yeah, no problem. So we texting back and forth with no problem. It was all love in the text though. You know what I'm saying? We going through.
Yeah.
I say, hey, we want to do an interview. I was like, yeah. I said, let's try to get Marcus on too, so he can tell us how he was doing in Africa too as well. So we hear two different sides of it. By you being born there and by him visiting all the time.
Yeah.
The one thing I like about Sibo, man, dude is so grateful, man. Everything he put, man, he always had thank you with the praying hands, man. And it was genuine. It was so genuine.
Bro. It's how I was raised, my bro. It's how I understood life. As I said, growing up, when with no parents, it taught me that, you know what, each and everything that you've been given by people appreciate. You understand? Even if some of them, they play me dirty and stuff, they may take advantage because they know you got nobody. So even if you can't go from here, they can just look you in, say, you know, the situation is the situation that I sometimes face, to say, I had to change the people that they adopted me. I had to move from them and start and be on my own. You understand? Because the treatment and everything that it was before, when I got in, it wasn't the same. Like, it wasn't the same at all. And after I got the key too, you know, that made things worse. So for me, when I do something with someone, if the person appreciates it, I always say thank you. If you do something for me, I say thank you. It's either I paid you, or even if I didn't pay you, you know, you will be surprised. I pay someone to do something, but when the person brings back whatever or the job done, I always say thank you. And I've got that belief to say, I don't normally thank people like on social media or on your page and go and say, write a long message and stuff like that and put it out there. I would rather go into your inbox, have a chat with you, appreciate you, tell you exactly on how I feel, or pick up the phone and call you and say, my bro, I appreciate you. I can even do that after 2 days. If we own something and say, I appreciate you, I appreciate you. So that's me, that's like in me. It's something that I can't change.
And the crazy thing, when I told my co-host, before I told you, Marcus, I'm at the house like, man, I'm about to get an interview with somebody from Africa. I said, yo, this is dope, because we always interview people, you know, if we do it, it's people in America, people I went to school with. I said, yo, this is so tough, because you're in a whole other continent, another country. I'm looking like, yo, this is Africa. My wife, how you gonna like that? I said, man, I'm in the house going crazy. Like, this dope. This might be super nice, because you watch stuff, like I said, on TV about Africa. I said, no, I want to talk to a person or meet a person from Africa so they can tell me what's really going on there from their understanding. Because, like I said once before, I don't believe everything that is on that glass tube. I don't. So by me sitting down, I'm at the house like, yo, what kind of questions I'm gonna ask him? Like, yo, what is the weather like? What's the food like? I'm asking all this stuff, and it's like, to me, it's like I said, I'm not getting paid for this. It's like we doing this at our own timing, how we feel about what's going on, giving other people that that's in the same world that we, and that can get, you know what I'm saying, get their opportunity to shine too as well. They're trying to help them get on to their next level. So I'm saying to myself, like, man, this about to be sweet. This dude in Africa. I'm telling my wife, yo, he in Africa. She's like, I know. She's like, you that pump. I'm like, yeah, man. It's like when you sit here and think about it, I'm sitting down watching TV. I'm like, yo, I text him like, it's almost that time. I'm in the mirror, like brushing my hair, like, yo, this guy in Africa. I'm about to do an interview with him. This is a whole different type of audience that we both can reach out to. So that's the part I was looking at, like, yo, this about to be a hell of an interview, because there's certain things, like certain kids wish they can do. Like, how many kids or adults would say, you know what, I'm gonna do a podcast or interview somebody from Africa. I'm not thinking about like that. But for him to come to my inbox, and for Marcus to put it out there like that, and say, hey, I'm looking for somebody to do a podcast, and he come through, I said, I can do it. Ever since then, man, non-stop going back and forth and be on that same page, man. Man, I appreciate y'all, man, for doing this for me, and not for me. This is for all of us, you know what I'm saying? Giving hope to everybody. Hey, man, it's possible. If you get the right people to do it, it's possible.
We're blessed to have y'all, for sure.
Likewise,
man. I'm also blessed, my man, to have. I mean, I appreciate the fact that Marcus, I mean, he always put through for me. When I ask something from him, help, I ask him, hey, my bro, can you help me with this and this and that? With the interviews too, I told him, hey, we got the song out. I've got these things lined up. I need to put it out there. I mean, on your side, what can you do for me, my bro? I know. I mean, it's sometimes here in South Africa, I won't lie to you. It's hard to get the interviews on radios because there's politics and stuff like that. So sometimes it's hard to get on radio, but you can get on the community radio station. And even the podcast too. The podcast game here in South Africa, it's where it's starting to build up to become huge like yours. So, I mean, to me, when I ask for these interviews, I don't actually do it for me. I'm doing it to show that it is possible. Just because you're in South Africa doesn't mean that you can't connect to the person who's in America. I mean, you can't connect to the person who's in Nigeria. I mean, do not think in the box, think out the box. Because whatever you do, you don't do it for the local. You're trying to make it, we're trying to do it for people out there, for the world. So I was more excited to be on this interview than maybe yours. I'm telling you, I was telling them, hey man, I have an international interview now and then. Because if you remember, don't say that I ask you so many times, can I do the flyer? Can I do the flyer? Can I do the flyer? Because I wanted. Yeah.
Let me add on that, because a lot of times we hear them be like, Africans don't like us, Africans don't fuck with us. That's not true. I'm telling you, you got to ask somebody that go every year, all year round. They love us, man. Nothing but love.
Because people listen to what they hear on TV. They don't get out, like you said, they don't step out that box. Like I said, your best, like I said, my dad said, son, don't worry what was on TV. My father was a firm believer in the summertime. I'm in high school, Marcus, like literally. My father had to do book reports, bro. High school. That's stuff you do in elementary, middle school.
Right.
So, man, why you guys doing all this stuff? He said, reading is fundamental. A book can take you there if you use your imagination. Definitely. So you'll be surprised. As the older I get, I do go buy books. I sit and read them. To believe it or not, my kids do book reports. So the whole thing is, long as you keep the mind sharpened, everything. Nobody can never make you fail. As long as the mind is sharp, is always a good thing to have. The mind is a beautiful tool. To be honest, if you know how to use it right. So like I said, I read all the books. Like I said, watching Marcus go to Africa, I'm like, yo, this dude really in Africa. I'm like, ooh. Them they just give us a whole tour because everybody's not fortunate enough to go there. Yeah. Then watching Zebo's video, he's showing this side of Africa. I'm like, okay, I like how he's doing this from the production side too as well with his people. I was like, okay, cool. Because everybody, to be honest with you, music actually started in Africa. You know what I'm saying? The dances that people do in America, some of them dances are already in Africa. Most already in Africa.
For real, the moves.
So the moves is the same. You know what I'm saying? It's already in our soul. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it. So before we wrap this up, do any of y'all got something to say before the people know what you got out there as well again?
Man, I just want to thank y'all once again for even inviting me and allowing us to come on the platform. You know, I know we go way back, and I truly appreciate it, King.
Oh, man, respect.
Yeah.
What about you, Jimbo? Got anything to say?
Yeah, man. The same thing too. I mean, I'd like to say thank you guys for allowing me. I mean, to even reply on my inbox too. The way I was so happy. So you know what I'm saying. So I mean, like for allowing me to have this interview and then allowing me to tell my story. I mean, tell our story to the people, to the world, to everybody, to make sure that to anybody that's out there, it is possible. It's just that you need to do it the right way. You understand? Right. So I mean, right now what I can say is to my people, there's more coming. I hope we're not gonna end here our conversation. We're gonna have maybe some other interviews too now, talking about something else. You know, that's what I want to see.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, there you have it. It's blessed to have y'all on this platform with me and Marc Sr., Marcus G. Wood, Sebo the Ghost. Like I said, I heard the music. I definitely like it. Not even lying. I like the beat. I said, man,
Thank
this
you.
is different. I was in the house playing Call of Duty. Like people like, where you from? I'm like, man, I'm from Africa, man. Like for real. like for real. But on that note, hey man, peace and blessings to you guys, man.
Yes, peace.
I was glad to have you guys
Peace,
on the
guys.
platform, man. This is definitely another gem and a stepping stone for us. It's in the book. Like I said, once again, I'm Tay Wiggs.
This is Marc Sr.
As we end this show, we out of here. Peace.
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 Nice.